I retired from. He was there for the story when I retired from crawl spaces.
Oh, what happened?
Because I got stuck.
Oh,
It
How
was
stuck?
really tight.
How stuck? How long?
Where he was pulling my legs.
oh. Welcome to Connections in Cal. It's your favorite local podcast sponsored by Servpro of Longview, Kelso, and the Mattress Superstore. I am Katie Keaton, realtor with Realty One Group Pacifica.
And Gabby Graves, your hometown lender with Synergy One Lending.
And we said that we are sponsored by Servpro Longview of Kelso, and they are actually in studio with us today.
Hello.
We have Ryan Grady, who is the owner, and we have Shawn Green, sales and marketing.
Sales and marketing.
Yeah.
Welcome, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yes,
This is great.
We're so excited today. We love these guys, and we want to dive into everything about Servpro, but also talk about them as business people, them as community members, and everything that they do in our community of Cowlitz County. So I guess we'll...
I just love the way you said that.
Cowlitz County. Do you love it?
This has been so
why
fun.
why don't you try, Shawn?
Cowlitz County.
Okay, that was good. Also, okay, just as
So
we...
assertive.
Sorry. Yeah.
Shawn is my biggest critic with things like this because we
But
have
in a
both-
loving way.
In a loving
absolutely,
way.
100%
Yes.
in a loving way.
In a loving way. We've both done the chamber show together, and we both have been the morning show host of Rocket 107. So when I first started at Rocket 107, Shawn would text me and be like, "Oh, could you say Rocket 107 one more time, please?"
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like you got a residual every time you said Rocket 107.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody knows
Anyway.
what radio station they're listening to.
Like I said,
I
my
love you,
biggest
though.
critic. But it's not about Shawn today. It's about Ryan.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello,
Well,
Could be
Ryan.
about me if you want.
So, we were talking about this before we hopped on here, but Gabby and I have talked about it a lot. When we first started the podcast, we wanted local sponsors, really hyper local sponsors. And it actually took me even a while to realize, like, oh yeah, I guess technically Servpro is a national brand. And I think the reason it took me so long to realize that is because you guys have done such a great job of making yourselves a local company and a local fixture.
Right, because, excuse me, being a local company is more than just being locally owned and located in Cowlitz County. It's being embedded into the community, being a part of youth sports, being a part of nonprofit groups, volunteering, and these guys do all those things year after year.
Yeah, so we're going to introduce you to them. Okay, Ryan, how long have you owned our local Servpro?
We are in our 13th year.
13th
Wow.
year.
Yes. I always have to look at Shawn.
Yeah.
When's your
I
birthday?
don't know why, but it's like I'm a clock or something.
Yeah, because he's been around since pretty much the beginning.
When is Servpro's birthday?
It is February.
Yep.
Not an
it's coming
exact date.
up.
I just say
Yeah, it's the
February
month.
1st,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
So
cool.
what got you into that? What was the impetus
boy,
of opening a
going way back.
franchise?
Impetus. Can you say
That's
something to her about that?
Did you guys know that word?
Thank you.
Impetus?
Impetus. It's a great word. Your wife's a teacher. I know you know it.
I'll ask her later
It
on.
sounds
what
like
that
another
means.
word that we shouldn't say on this show.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, so
That word.
anyway, so we started Servpro 14 years ago. The way I got into it, I moved out here actually from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Met Lacey. Was in a sales position that I absolutely hated and wanted to get out of that and started looking into things that
Now I'm curious, but
we-
maybe I shouldn't ask.
I was selling online advertising back in the day,
Oh,
like Google
okay.
clicks and all that, where you're
right.
literally selling air. That's how I became a good salesman.
Right,
When, you know,
okay.
ice to an Eskimo type thing, water to a whale,
Yeah.
clicks to a business.
But
is
that is-
another-
Clicks to business.
I mean, that's something now that you can use so much.
Like back then, back then you were selling air, but now it's more refined, I would like to say.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
back
yeah.
then it wasn't
Yeah.
really
Right.
So you moved out here
to take that position
From
Okay.
Pennsylvania.
from Philadelphia area.
That is a
Go
big
Eagles,
change.
Phillies, yeah.
Okay.
But
I do love Jason Kelsey.
yeah, but fell in love with the area. Everybody loves Jason Kelsey now. I loved it back when nobody knew
It's
him.
'cause
Now
he's
everybody
sweet.
loves
He's
Jason
sweet.
Kelsey.
His wife
He is
is
sweet.
great.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
I love it.
You're an OG Jason
Yeah.
Kelsey. fan.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're bandwagoners.
And we don't like Travis around here.
You
either.
don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
Not really.
Do you like their
He likes
podcast? Do you
himself
listen to
too
their
much.
podcast?
Yeah, they're
Actually,
funny.
it is really funny.
They're
is.
almost as funny as you guys.
I know we're really
know.
funny too. Except
wonder if we can
unfortunately,
get them on the podcast.
Well, we just don't have any links to Taylor Swift, so we're just like automatically
Right.
at a disadvantage.
True.
I think didn't they just sign like $100 million deal or $200 million deal?
Something
on
crazy.
their
Something
podcast,
like that,
Kelso
yeah.
Brothers.
And he's on Monday Night Football. And-
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy.
But anyway, I was looking for different opportunities, and I reached out to like a broker who gave me a bunch of different opportunities, and I was looking at all of them. And one of them was actually a franchise, a fire and water damage restoration franchise, but a different one.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of got, because I came from the insurance industry before this. I worked for a state farm agency selling insurance for 5 years. And Servpro would always come in and do what Shawn does, market. And actually, one of the ladies that I worked with, husband started a Servpro franchise
Okay.
back in the day. So I called them, and all the stars aligned. I reached out to Servpro, and they actually had Cowles County available. This is when we were living in Vancouver, so they didn't have anything available down in Portland area or anything like that.
Because there's already a franchise in those areas.
Right.
Okay.
So, kind of all the stars aligned. Lacey's from Cowles County, gets us back to family, and that's how it took off.
Yeah. Which,
Awesome.
okay, I, as a good host would do, did some research on Servpro this morning right before you
Oh,
came. And
Please don't quiz me. It was-
I won't quiz you. But did you know that they are still rated the #1 franchise for water and restoration? Even in 2024, they won the #1 spot.
Yeah, we're
Awesome.
like the
Yeah.
franchise, that magazine, the Franchise 500
Entrepreneur.
comes out.
Yeah.
Entrepreneur puts
Yeah.
it out
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
and they do the Franchise 500, the top franchises, and we're usually top 10 in that. I don't know where we
Yeah.
are now,
Awesome.
but
Well-
it was 8 when I was. It's
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
8, 7 for a lot, and there a lot of franchises, like
Oh, yeah. Taco Time.
McDonald's, Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all big
Big
names
names.
that you know.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
The best podcast in Cowles County is brought to you by Servpro of Longview, Kelso. Locally owned and operated, they are the company that you want to go to if you have a home emergency. Mold remediation, water damage, fire, smoke damage,
Damage.
just all the damage. All the damage. You want to call Servpro. You don't want to deal with it yourself. You want to call Servpro. They're going to take all the stress away, and they're professional, clean, kind, and locally owned and operated.
Not only that, but not only do they sponsor our podcast here, but they're also one of the main sponsors of the Lonnie Knowles Memorial Golf Tournament, which we are at right now. So a big community pillar and someone that you can feel good about using. And speaking of, you can also feel good about getting your mattresses and all of your furniture needs from the Mattress Superstore. They are locally owned and operated. They have their location on Vandercook Way, but they also have their Mattress Superstore factory outlet that is also in Kelso as well. If you want to get comfortable, you need to get into the Mattress Superstore. A big thank you to both of our sponsors. And just interesting, maybe you knew this. Maybe I will quiz you on this. Just kidding, I won't.
Shoot it.
I did not know that Servpro started as a painting company. Just a
Sacramento,
little
yeah.
mom and pop painting company. But then, from what I saw on the website, it only took like 2 years
2
for them
years.
to like explode.
Yes.
To franchise
So-
into 10 stores, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
So that's crazy.
And that's back in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just to say that it's like Servpro started out as a great company and it still is. So you picked a good
And very
franchise.
family oriented.
Yeah.
Like when you go back to our main hub, so to speak, our national headquarters is in Gallatin, Tennessee, right outside of Nashville. And you go back there, you feel like you're home. Like
Yeah.
it's very family
Yeah.
oriented. All the conventions, there's kids running around. So it's a cool company to be involved with.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And you have iconic branding. The bright green, the bright
Yeah.
orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. It's
You
kinda
can't
hard to
miss
get.
it.
I don't know if you guys
Cheers.
noticed, but we always put the little green and orange heart behind our Servpro posts.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Emojis.
Yeah.
Cheers. Okay, so you have been doing this for a while now,
Okay.
and it has given you the opportunity to get involved into the community. So there's other things that you do that are community minded too. Like we just sponsored a hole at the Lonnie Knowles Memorial Golf Tournament, which you
We
guys
did.
sponsor.
That's Shawn's baby. Yeah.
And that was a great time.
Yeah.
And so well organized, Shawn. You do a great job putting that
I've heard
on.
that
Thank
from
you very
multiple
much.
people how
Yeah.
that was. We do a lot of golf events, and I haven't even told Shawn this, but there's a lot of people that came to me and said how well organized it was
Yes.
compared to other ones. So
And thoughtful. You had lunch given to the whole sponsors. We've never been given lunch at the whole. We just sit there and starve
Yeah.
all day.
Well, I mean, that came from a brainiac idea of actually sitting on a hole and being a hole sponsor.
yeah, how long have we
Starving.
been on
Yeah.
the
So
whole
yeah,
Starving.
you pay
Yeah.
money to sit at a hole, and it's like you're the redheaded stepchild sitting
Yep.
out there, hole number 3.
Yep.
You know,
No one
it's
tells
like-
you when
gave
it's
me-
over.
You gave me hole number 3 my first year.
I did.
And that was so rude of you to do to me. I thought we were friends.
What's wrong with hole 3?
Absolutely not.
It's the
Servpro
worst
has
hole.
sat
I'm trying
at
to think
hole
of it
3.
now.
It is
It's
so
way
far back.
Par
in the
3?
nines.
It is
Yeah,
the
yeah, it's par
absolute
three.
Okay,
There's no
yeah.
furthest
bathroom
back.
next
Right
to
by
it.
the railroad tracks.
Yeah, you're
No,
right. Yeah,
the
okay,
first
yeah.
time I
Picture.
did the first tournament I ever was a whole sponsor of was Lonnie Knowles Memorial Golf Tournament.
Rock and roll.
It was 3 years ago. I did not know what I was doing. I didn't bring anybody with me. My phone died. I didn't want to drive my car out to hole 3
Sure.
because
Where
it was
is
so
it?
far
Yeah.
away.
Right.
And
yeah,
so
where is it?
I was out there with a dead phone sitting there by myself. And, at first everyone's coming through. Like, you're seeing golfers all the time. Well, then towards the end, I was like, they're going to leave me out here to die. Like, no one is going to
Because you
know.
don't know if it's over.
Yes.
There's a lull between
No one is
teams.
going to know.
Yes, yes.
And actually, Bill Markham saved my life because when he came through, it had been like half an hour since I had seen anyone. And he came through and I was like, "Are you the last person?" He's like, "Yeah, I think I'm the last one." And I was like, "Will you come back for me?" And it still took him like another half an hour to like get all the way back to the front. And
Right.
when he pulled up in the golf cart, I was like, "Thank the Lord."
Right.
Thank Bill Markham for saving me from hole number 3. But you've been much nicer to us last 2 years. We got a good hole this year.
We did get
I got
a good
booed.
closure.
I got booed at the Lonnie Knowles this year.
You got
You got
booed?
I cleaned up in the raffles.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
dude, you did.
good
Absolutely cleaned up.
Didn't
What'd
you
you
win?
win?
No,
Oh.
the one from
Tell
Kristen.
us.
I won the one from Stuart Title. That was
Okay.
the best one.
And what was it?
Everything. Like, it was a really cool.
He won everything.
Everything.
It was a really cool, mini cooler, but then 2 sets of Pro V1 Titleists. I mean, those are $60 a piece.
Nice.
$50 gift card to the. Oh man, what was the place right here? Anyway, $50 gift card to eat somewhere. See, I'm Spice.
Oh, that was from us. Was that from us?
That was thrown in there.
Oh, yeah.
Was it not supposed to be in there? Because
no,
I got
it
it.
was. No. And the pillows?
Oh, that was Matt. That's the other one I
Yeah,
won.
that was
Yeah.
from
The
him.
match- it went with
For the
Mattress
podcast.
Superstore.
Yes.
We won that.
He won his.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
But then what else? I mean, it was just a ton of stuff in there. It's hard
Yeah.
to even. Oh, a rangefinder. That's probably $100.
Ooh, that's cool.
Are you one of those lucky guys?
Usually not.
Usually
but I
not.
cleaned up and I let
Okay.
everybody know it. Like,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that never happens.
He's not invited back. next
Oh,
year.
I was,
No.
waving around the
Tell us
tickets.
what's not invited back. That's
Good. Well,
Yeah.
it sounds like you deserve to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
This was your
Some karma. Well, and you said that your wife wins a lot of things too. So your wife, Lacey, is a teacher at
CVG. now.
CVG. And you said your son's PE teacher this year?
Yes, she is a new PE teacher there, and everyone is very excited to have her. All the kids are running around saying how nice and sweet their new teacher is. So
Yeah,
yes.
that's great.
She's loving life. She's coming from RA Long, which was a great school, great experience, but she's just ready for a change. And it's definitely for the better.
Yeah, so now she's in elementary,
Right.
as opposed to
Right.
high school.
Right.
Right.
And it's
And
probably sweeter hearing.
And it's
Mrs.
PE,
Grady.
not English, grading,
Right.
400 10-page papers,
Yeah.
like there's not as much prep work in,
Yeah,
in
agreed.
PE.
And the kids are happy to get to PE.
Right.
Where maybe when they
Yes.
walk into English class in high school, they're
Exactly.
like, oh,
Right.
no.
So true. And
Yeah.
like little kids, you probably get hugs some days.
She's
and
trying to
just
figure
sweet
out the
little things.
she's trying to figure out the kindergartners and the first graders. They're a little crazy still, but everything else,
Herding
that's,
cats,
that's what
yeah.
she's trying to do.
Well, I have to tell you, Ryan. So we met with Ryan a couple weeks ago, Gabby and I did, and we talked about a lot of things. We talked about Bigfoot. We talked about Servpro. We talked about many things. When we left, though, Gabby was like, and you should meet his wife.
Yeah, I mean, she's just great. Everyone says how wonderful she is, and she's been nominated for Teacher of the Year. I think as long as she's been a teacher. I'm not the only one that thinks she's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of nominations and wins, you guys the last 2 years have taken home the #1 spot in the Best of Southwest Washington for water damage and restoration,
Nice.
right?
Yeah.
The last
that's
2 years?
That's a big vote, man.
Yeah.
So
over
big popularity
100,000
contest. Yeah, absolutely.
votes come in every year. I
Yeah.
think last year we had like 140,000 votes
It's
come in.
massive.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
way massive.
Shawn was
yes.
120,000 of those votes, but
Well,
Ryan
you
and
guys
Shawn
were-
is very
Popularity contest, maybe, you know? So, hey, you know, gotta win.
and
Gotta
You should have
win.
worn your
No.
medals today.
Oh, you should have.
I forgot my flare. Dag on it.
And
Cut. Let's do this again.
you know that one isn't rigged because I work at the radio station which puts it on, and I did
107,
not.
The Rocket?
Yeah.
Okay.
107.1 by Coastal Media. Classic rock. Anyway, I worked there and I didn't win for Realtor this year. So you know
Okay.
it's not rigged. That's all I'm saying.
Well, hold on. I just don't want to say they're all rigged, though. I mean, because we have won TDN's best of before, you know, it left.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's rigged.
I don't think so.
Just saying.
I won that and I don't know them.
Oh, that's
I got
not
second.
rigged.
Yeah.
So,
Right on.
yeah.
So yeah, we've been super blessed, man.
Yeah,
I mean, the popularity of Servpro and
Well, and it's
Things of
because, you know, I used to work at a staffing agency, and you can tell right away if somewhere is a good place to work. But really, it's like being a good place to work is the foundation of serving your clients best, because it's
Right.
like if you're a good place to work, you maintain your employees. You have employees who know what they're doing because they've been there for a while. And then that translates to good customer service.
How they take care of your
Yeah, so
clients.
it really starts at the base and it grows from there. And then that's what makes you be able to win the awards and things like that. So is that something when you're like running your business you're thinking about, or?
The thing I've learned over the years in this, you know, is when it comes to employees, when you have a bad one, you got to get rid of them immediately and not hold on to them. And it took me a long time to learn that because once you have one, they'll pull other ones in. Before you know it, you got a whole S-storm going on in your...
It's like a cancer.
Yes.
And what
yes.
you
So-
guys do is very personal. Like you're in
and
people's
not
homes.
easy. Correct.
During
Yeah.
very
Correct.
hard times.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you need to have people that
Very
want to
sympathetic.
do a good job.
Be very sympathetic and like people can't, you know, you have to kind of not coax them through decisions, but like help them understand what they're going through, how this all works. It's not easy. Having a fire is, there's only a few things worse than that can happen in your life that we're not involved with. A death in the family is terrible. Sometimes we're involved with that if they're,
Right.
if it goes a certain way. But yeah, we're meeting people really at one of their lowest points in their
Yeah.
in their life.
You guys helped a good friend of mine actually when she passed away, and I'm best friends with her kids, and you guys came to the house and helped, and it was, you guys were.
It's not easy.
You guys
So
were
it takes
amazing.
it takes a special person to be to be able to work in that environment. And right now, our crew is like, I haven't been happier with our crew. Like
Shout
over
out to the
past
crew.
year.
yeah, I
That's
gotta say that
awesome.
as
It
well.
really is.
Yeah, the continuity between the crews, they all get
Yeah.
along.
You
Nobody
don't have
downgrades
no
anybody
infighting
else.
right
Yeah.
now and all
Yeah.
that, and just keep your fingers crossed. And
Yeah. So speaking just like in generalities, do you guys notice any trends as far as like when claims come in? Like, is there a trend cycle to what you guys see?
We're in our slow season right now. Actually, just getting ready to get into our busy season, like almost, and it's flip of a switch.
And
It's
busy-
that first big storm that comes in.
It's the
we'll get
water.
calls. And those are ones that usually aren't covered by insurance. Like water that comes in, seeps in through your basement, or finds its way seeping kind of thing. It has to be sudden and accidental. It has to be a pipe break. I mean, we can help you, but it might be something that'll not be covered by your insurance.
Right.
But that's when the freezes when they start. Winters are busy season.
Yeah, that
Got
makes
it.
sense. And in Washington, I'm sure it's different for different Servpros around the country. Where it's like here in Washington, I'm sure most of the stuff is water and mold.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's heavily water throughout the country wherever you are.
Okay.
But there are more fires, down south and things like that. But really,
Right.
hurricanes down in Florida. But it's typically, regular pipe breaks and your kid decides to flush a toy down the toilet. We get that a couple times a year. A lot of crazy ones.
Actually, that happened to one of our friends. I'll tell you who it is after because you know who it is. But yeah, their kid just left the bathtub running and they're upstairs all day for hours.
I personally think all kids should do that at least one time in their life.
Yeah.
Why?
At least once.
Yes.
Why?
In Cowles County. At least.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Or Wakayakum. We serve Wakayakum too.
Yeah, but no, it's a great learning experience, not just for the parent, but for the child as well. Don't do that, little Johnny. But if you do, call Servpro Longview Kelso.
Right.
We'll make it like it never even happened.
And that's it. We're done. The podcast is over.
I'm kidding.
It is true, though. Call Servpro of Longview Kelso. And is that how, like, do most people just give you a call? I'm sure that's another thing, too, is, like, they are in a terrible point in their life. And they probably are like, oh, my gosh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
Right. They'll call
Where
their
do I
agent.
even start?
You know, some will call an agent. Some will call their general contractor that, you know, like everybody's got the guy who puts on your addition or what they might call him. So there's a lot of different ways that a lead will come through our office. Most of them are, you know, through your agent or really now it's just word of mouth and people knowing, which is cool.
Yeah,
right.
You know, people didn't know
Because
who we
you're a
were.
community.
Right. So that's really
driven
cool.
company.
And then unfortunately, second and third time customers, you know, repeat. Well,
Yeah, those are fun.
yeah,
That's
repeat
sad.
water, repeat fires. I mean, you go through one, you know, to go through a second. But hey, they call you back. You know you're doing something
Yeah,
right.
that's
Right,
true.
right,
Very
right,
true.
right.
So
Yeah.
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 And Google. I mean, a
yeah,
lot of our
people
stuff.
just go right on Google.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting, and I don't know if it's because it has to do with consumers losing. I don't want to say trust in their insurance company because insurance rates are going through the roof, right? And that's not a secret, so I'm not saying anything that nobody already knows. But you go through our jobs and you'll look. How did the customer hear about us?
A lot
Google.
of it's internet.
Google's,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
like 1 out of 6.
Right.
And it's interesting that,
Yeah.
you know.
Well,
I think younger people, too, just Google.
Well, and I think younger people just Google, but I think people are also getting wise to the fact that, you know, just because you contact your agent and have them handle it or a contractor, sometimes you're going to be doing a lot of the chasing down, doing a lot of the paperwork. You guys handle all that. You guys handle the packing, the, you know, cleaning of, you know, if you have a fire, you guys remove smoke from personal belongings.
The non-salvageable list. You know, you have a fire in here. You need to get paid for everything that's in this room right now.
Right.
Right.
So there needs to be a list compiled with pictures, serial numbers. So we do that. We have a program that does that.
Wow, right.
Yeah.
And that can be so daunting for somebody. So, yeah, I mean, I think that our generation is kind of getting to the point where, you know, we call those agents and realize, wow, I have to do all this myself.
I think the biggest thing we want people to know is you have a choice. Like you might get pushed this way or that way, and I'm not saying you should come to Servpro. Like I feel that
He
way,
is
but-
saying that, but yes,
yeah,
yes.
but I mean, you have a choice. So don't, you call your claims office and they say, yeah, you can use A, B, or C, and they don't say Servpro Longview. No, you can. It's your house. You can use who you want.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the pricing, my price is going to be very close to the pricing of competitors. So really, it's just a service that's involved that's different because we all go off of this, have to go off the same industry standard pricing lists.
Okay.
So, the price is a price. It's not like you go get tires and you go down to
Right.
STS and they're at 500 and you go to TNT and they're 300. Oh, go with, it's not like that.
That's a great point. I did not know that either.
I didn't know that either, and that's good to know.
That is good to know.
And if I could, I just want to take it a little bit further.
Yeah.
As a homeowner, we do have our prerogative of who we have in our home. And if you live in Cowles County and your insurance company directs you to a company from out of town, I mean, we're all about local, and that, to me, that's a big no-no. So you should have somebody who you locally has ties in your house.
And who sponsors your favorite local podcast?
Well,
that
true.
too, Katie.
It's
but,
true because you're going to take more care in
Well,
these
yeah.
people's homes. You take more care of their community.
Well, that
and
and
their
if
kids
you mess
are
up,
more vested.
if you
That's
mess
for
up
sure.
or anything, you got to make it good. We've made mistakes. We've
your
made
lovely
plenty of
faces
mistakes.
are behind it.
Right. You got to make it good.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're in
Yeah.
out of town and they're out there, especially, they prey upon usually on fires. They hear about the fires. They come up from Portland. Hey, we're here to help you. Well, guess what? They're here to take your money and really not help you that much. And you know what? They don't care because they'll go back to Portland and prey on somebody in Salem, Oregon next week.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, if we mess up, you know where we are.
Yeah.
You know how to blow us up online,
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you got to
exactly.
make it good.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely.
That's so true.
You can get a hold of Shawn Green anywhere, right?
Okay, this is a random question, but I'm going to ask you just because, we're in real estate. And sometimes you walk into a house and it has a smell or whatever. I did see online that you guys do some like smell
Deodorization,
removal.
yeah.
Okay, what is
Nice.
that? Please tell us.
Yeah. How
So
does this
there's, we're going to get really scientific, but there's a couple of different ways. The one's an ozone
Katie's
machine.
an
Okay,
anthropologist.
that actually
that's what I was
neutralizes-
going to ask. How
Yeah.
do you guys feel about ozone machines? Do you
They
have
knock-
an ozone
oh,
machine?
yeah. And we knock
What
it out.
is an ozone machine? How does it work?
Oh gosh. So it puts out
Oh,
it
gosh.
puts out a chemical that's missing. To be very basic, that is missing one of its electrons.
Okay.
And that attaches to the odor.
The stink
and
electrons.
neutralizes it.
Okay.
That's like just to keep it on a.
Okay.
You're connecting stink to
Right. And then
electrical
neutralizing it.
particles.
Yeah.
Correct.
This is fascinating.
That is way better than Febreze.
It's like the poo.
Way better
what
than
was-
Febreze.
But it does work really well.
Totally.
Okay.
A lot of used car dealerships use ozone machines because when you trade your car in, it smells like
Like
cigarettes.
the nicotine
Okay.
Right.
Shook.
it knocks
Yeah.
that down.
Okay, how
Yeah.
much? I just have to know. How much does something like that cost
So
to run
we
an
charge,
ozone?
if that's just like that's a 2-day process. Like it's good for like a Friday night and then come back Monday type deal. And we just if we're renting it out to you, that's $250.
What?
That's an easy one.
Oh
$250 to make your house smell delish?
250,000. Yeah, I'll be retired.
Okay.
You got
No,
me.
$250.
That's a
That
wrap.
is insane.
Wait, so it's just a machine.
Yes, but
Can you
here's
be
the deal.
in your house while
Yeah,
it's running?
But no, you cannot be in the house.
Okay.
Right.
Oh.
There's the kicker.
Are you
So
joking
when
again?
No, you cannot be in the house. It is a harmful. It'll mess up your lungs if you're in the house.
It'll
So
pull
it's
out
something
the
that you
stink
set
from your
up,
lungs.
you go away, and then also it eats away. You need to put like a lubricant over your refrigerator seals, like
Okay.
that type of rubber. So there's a few things you got to do.
Okay.
Gotta,
But still.
Gotta
But
lube
it'll
up the
knock down the
rubbers.
smell. Like I
my
know the
gosh.
smells you're talking about trying to sell a house.
Yes.
People that they don't even know they have that odor.
Yes. Which is not a fun
We all have
conversation
an
to
odor
have.
in our house, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Some people have scentsy odors. They think it's great, but it's a mask.
Does it pull out stuff like that too? Like when you walk
Pulls
into
out
your
everything.
house? Yeah.
It's
All the
amazing.
odors?
Yeah. Yeah. So you shut it up for 24, 48 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sealed
Right,
tight.
right.
And you don't go in. And when you do go in, you want
Since
to
they're
air
meant
it
for
out.
fire
Yeah.
jobs,
Yeah.
to get rid of that
okay.
that little bit of residual odor at the end when we do all the tear out, all the sealing, and all that. There's still going to be that little touch where you don't know it, and that it knocks that out.
Yeah.
I am fascinated. Can you put one of these in your car?
Oh,
Yeah,
wait till we
that's
talk
what
about
they said.
You can put it
dehumidification.
in your car?
No, we're not talking about.
Wait till we talk about
I
dehumidification.
already know about that.
right. So
Yeah, that's what they
I'm-
said. They use car dealers use them.
But
They do.
I'm
Yeah.
fascinated.
Yeah. I know
Interesting.
our wheels are
Yeah,
turning right now,
seriously.
you guys. Yeah, okay. So I think, do we have anything else we want to talk about as far as like the mold, the water, the fire? Should we move on to the community stuff?
well, I want to talk about mold for a second.
Okay.
There's
Love
a
good mold
yeah.
conversation.
I mean, you all hear the term lipstick on a pig, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
so,
familiar.
Oh, stop.
Stop that.
Stop. Anyway, we'll get called out by a lot of insurance agents and homeowners who have a smell in their home. That's more so what an ozone machine will not even tackle. And then it'll be in their attic, and their attic is covered in mold. Okay, so it's a job. I mean, we Tyvek, the techs, they Tyvek everything up, pull all the insulation out, scrub everything down. They
Seal coat.
seal coat, microban, seal coat, put the new insulation in.
Get it clearance.
Well, yeah. So you should actually be talking about this. And not,
No, but
'cause
go
I
ahead
don't do
because
this,
you have something you want.
Yeah, so I just want to say, so we'll go in and we'll present a bid to do all this, right? And it's a very lengthy bid, and and it's a few $1,000s to have this done because look, nothing's for free, right? And then another company will come in who puts a lipstick on a pig, and they'll do half of what Servpro does, and it's less than half the bid. 2 years later, and this has happened a few times, that Shawn's actually gotten a phone call from a friend who is a home seller, realtor, that the mold has came back. It's amazing because the job was not done correctly the first time.
Right, that makes sense.
So I just want to tackle that. So mold remediation, all of our services. I mean, we're lengthy. You can go on our website, Facebook page, and check it out. But mold remediation is super huge because we are a very humid climate right here.
Right.
It's amazing.
Wet,
So
muggy.
wet, muggy. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
So-
that mold gets me. My eyes instantly.
Oh,
I
that's
walk in as a
terrible.
realtor. I walk into a house. Sometimes I'm like, oh, this house has mold in it, because I'm
You're like a
allergic.
mold-sniffing
I am.
dog.
I'm a mold
We need to
sniffing
hire
dog.
you.
Yeah. I walk in.
Charge
love
a
it.
consulting
I love
fee for
it.
that,
Yeah,
Katie.
I'm like the well witcher, except I just
Yeah.
walk into
Oh,
the house.
yeah.
I'm like mold.
The
There's
mold witcher.
I'm like, where do my eyes feel the itchiest? This is where it's coming from.
Right. And so if you ever do call Servpro and want us to inspect something, I mean, there is a fee involved, but that fee is deducted upon the service if we're chosen to provide that
Right.
service. So, again, I mean, because it's a time-consuming
Yeah.
effort to go in there and write everything down.
It's always in an attic. It's always when
yeah.
you guys are selling, you got to sell a house, you get that inspection.
Yep.
And there's mold in the attic.
Yep.
Well, and the inspectors
crawl
can't
space.
call it mold. They have to
Nope,
call
suspicious,
it, staining.
Suspicious
typically, yeah.
staining.
Yeah.
Staining.
So mold has gone out the window and master bedroom has gone out the window. Those are the terms we
There's
cannot
there a
use
lot.
anymore.
There's
You know?
many.
Oh, I'm
There's
sure.
many, Shawn.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I can't say anything.
But
I
in
got
Shawn's
in trouble.
world, everything is a-okay.
We can say whatever we want in Sean's world.
I will
Amen.
say I did get a fine for calling something a she shed, which I thought was a little
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
but-
That's
You got
funny,
a fine
though.
from the MLS?
Yeah.
Whoa, the MLS can fine you?
Yeah.
Now that's awesome.
Oh, the MLS
For
can
anything,
fine.
apparently.
Wow,
Sorry.
now that's a racket.
Dude,
For
It was
calling
just
it a
50
she
bucks.
shed?
Yeah.
but that's on
How
a
much
State
that
Farm
cost?
commercial.
50 bucks.
Oh, okay.
It was just like a slap
Slap
on the
on the
wrist.
hand,
Yeah.
Do they look at that stuff themselves, or did somebody have to like tattle on you?
No. I think honestly, the word like pulled up in there.
I bet you do
AI.
that.
I think it was an
easy
AI.
searches,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
think
and-
it was just like, oh, this is fair housing laws, and I'm like, but it is a she shed. Like it had a chandelier inside. It was, it was.
I like chandeliers.
Yeah. And so man
Okay.
Could have been a he shed.
Okay.
I like chandeliers.
Yeah, you cannot say man cave. No.
you cannot what?
Cannot
Can't
say
say
man
man
cave.
cave.
Yeah.
No. What about dude room?
No.
None.
Why?
I guess.
I don't-
Why
Can't say dude
not?
room?
Because like dudes could be
Dude.
either.
I'm gonna
Dudettes.
try it,
No,
and
there's
if I get a
dudes and there's
$50
dudettes.
fine,
There's dudes and there's dudettes.
okay,
Okay.
rock and roll. Is this rock and roll? No.
That's hang loose.
That's hang loose. This is rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
I used to have
That's
a
what
dude
I
room.
meant.
That's
That's
why I
what I
brought that up. I hated the
Okay.
word man cave. I thought it was
Yeah.
so used and abused and boring and just everybody and Uncle Tom was saying, "Yeah, I got a man cave. Yeah, look at me, man. I got a man cave. Whoopie doo. I got a dude room. Oh yeah, what's in that?
Same exact thing as a man cave.
Better.
No, I got this bodacious cigar humidifier.
He's
Bodacious.
He's
Love that.
rebranding
Humidor.
the impetus for the bodacious.
There's that word again.
I know it was
not-
a
I don't know. I
joke.
still have to ask Lacey what that means.
It's a joke.
Make sure you say it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right.
Okay. We talked about the mold now too, which thank you so much because I do agree in this climate we get
You want to
moldy.
talk about biohazard cleanup?
No.
No?
We're all like absolutely not. Thank you so
No, but
much.
I might
Sean.
have a client for you in the future.
Oh God.
Yeah, anyway.
If you
In
need
the future.
biohazard cleanup,
Wow.
That sounds like a hoarding situation.
We might need to
Yeah,
cut this.
quarters. Oh, that's it. Dude,
Wait.
cleaning up that. That's crazy.
Okay, so let's talk about the community.
yes, let's talk about the community. We talked about some of the golf tournaments you put on, which I will agree that you run a mean golf tournament.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
But then
that.
also you are a part of Rotary as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Longview Noon Rotary,
Yes.
to be specific.
Whoa, see, Longview Early Edition is always the redheaded stepchild to that. And
They
I
are.
am a Longview Early Edition Rotary member.
I do not think that's true. I want to say a good 13 years ago-ish. When did you go in there about 13 years ago?
No, 16, I think. About 10.
You guys used to
Nine or
be
10.
the redheaded stepchild of the Rotaries, right?
Really? I don't know.
I thought
Because I
so.
came in. That's how I got
Longview
to.
Noon Editions.
That's how I got
always
to
been
know
the
people.
largest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
That's how I
don't
got to
know.
know people in the
Okay.
Okay. So we have a face off here.
Yeah, we do.
It's on.
Okay. So honestly though,
Arm
let's
wrestle.
Rotaries.
Katie and I aren't Rotaries. We're tippers.
yeah, we're
So.
the tippers, but are we? Okay, so what is the difference between the Rotaries?
Yes.
Time they meet.
And just people. But do you
Yeah, the
do
people.
but you do different
vibe.
fundraisers?
You do different fundraisers.
Correct.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
different meetings.
Who are your presidents? Who's your president?
Right now, just got done with Mike Vorse.
Oh, I love Mike Force.
Who took
Minuteman
over.
Press?
Oh, that's rad.
Shout out
Todd
to
Bowes
Mike.
just took over.
Oh,
in July.
Todd Bozeman? Or no, Todd Bowes. It is Todd Bowes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a financial planner.
Correct.
Yes.
I think he's Morgan's boss.
He is Morgan's boss.
Okay.
Edward Jones.
And who
baby.
is your president?
Right now it's Lori Basher.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Carol. Yeah, Gibson Olsen Carol was
Okay.
our last. But the main difference between our Rotaries, like Ryan tipped on just a second ago, so noon on Wednesday, but not everybody can like free up their middle of their day.
Right.
Including
So,
myself. I've
yeah.
been very bad in attendance.
So back
if
in the
any
early
Rotarians
80s,
are out
yeah.
there, they're going to be like, he's in noon, like any newer Rotarians? Like, that guy's in our Rotary?
We don't
Yeah.
recognize him.
Yeah.
He doesn't even go here.
I feel kind of bad. Now I got to get going.
The last time you had hair.
Wow. No.
Dude, imagine that.
If I had a little more.
Wow. That's a hell of a find.
Take it good.
back. You're the sponsor.
That's good. That's what I like. That's now we're talking. Now we got a podcast going. Taking the gloves off.
I love it. So anyway, back in the early 80s, some members of Noon Rotary found it impossible to meet at noon, so they do, hey, let's do an early edition. So we meet Tuesday mornings at 7 o'clock.
Nice.
So, and then it frees up our day. Kind of like, the other group. Stink, man. I just had a brain fart. Sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, I won't talk about them.
Lions?
Yeah, just like the
Okay.
Lions just did.
Oh,
so
they
there's
meet
there's
in
an
the
early
morning now.
Lions now.
Cool.
So there's two different Lions.
Well, see, as moms, that time of day is really hard for us, because we got to get our kids to school.
7 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, gavel drops at 7. Gavel drops at 8. And you're done and adios
Okay.
amigos.
Yeah, I think I'd be
remember what
more
they said
into a
about
noon
tapping
right
on
now.
Well, you've been tapping on the table all day, so.
Well, but Wayne told us it was fine if we tapped on the table, just not on the mic stand.
Yes.
Which I actually did whack my mic earlier, so it's going to be a mess. It's fine.
It's going to be a mess. It's no big deal.
It's going to be just a mess.
It's only the
but it's
most
fine.
important episode ever.
No, you guys should have seen me before. I was so nervous to have our sponsors on.
That's how I
But
felt
it's going
too.
really well. Okay, so as part of Rotary, we were talking the other day about the flag.
Oh, freedom flags.
Yeah,
Yes,
so tell
'cause
us a
you
little bit
said-
about that.
Yeah.
Because you said you do different
Fundraisers.
Yes.
They actually just joined in. They have a group that helps us out. But Noon Rotary started the freedom flags, I want to say 5 or 6 years ago. Now we're up to over, I think, 600 flags that we put
Wow.
out there's 4 holidays a month. So you got Independence Day. We're coming up on Veterans Day. You do Memorial Day. Oh, President's Day in
Okay.
February. Then Memorial Day.
Nice.
And so you were saying that
So we
it's
put-
like $50.
It's $50
and
bucks
you sign up for the year.
And
For
a
a whole
Rotarian
year?
comes out and those are the flags you're seeing during those holidays that are in the front of people's yards.
Yes.
They stay out for about 2 weeks. That's housed at Servpro.
Okay.
So we keep all the flags, all the poles, and other equipment
Mold free.
For that. Correct. Oh, we do a lot of drying of those flags, though. It
I'm
does
sure.
work
Yeah.
out. So, in those winter months, we bring it back, and I got like 600 flags.
No, that's the coolest sight.
I
It is
bet
pretty
it
cool.
is.
It is
It is
so
pretty
stinking
cool to
cool,
dry
man.
them all out.
Tell us next time. We'll come take a picture. For
Yeah.
the pod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's really it's crazy how it's grown, and now it's so cool. I didn't even know it's happened, but Kelso's starting up because all this money is getting funneled back into the community.
Right.
It all either goes to scholarships. Rotary does a lot of scholarships at the end of each school year for seniors. Then all kinds of stuff. I mean, I can't name the amount of stuff that Rotary.
Yeah. Well, because that's
donates
really
to.
what Rotary is about, just fundraising. And I have been to a couple of Rotary meetings. I have not joined, but a while ago, I think I went to a couple of Kelso ones. But it is really fun. It's a great group, and it's like you go, and everyone is just about fundraising and doing
Right.
good things
It's
in
an hour
the community.
long.
Yeah.
Every week you get to have, there's a different person that comes in and speaks about, I don't know, it could be just random, all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah.
You get lunch, but then really, the work begins outside of that meeting.
Right.
Because there's different committees that work. Literacy committee is a big thing with Sarah Koss. I mean, She does
Yes.
a ton around Longview. She's in Noon Rotary. A lot of our money goes towards that. What else? The Tour de Blast.
Oh, up in my neck of the woods.
run
Very
that.
cool. Yes.
Those guys, you guys do the what's that? It's coming up. The run.
Oh, the Harvest Classic.
Yeah,
Harvest Classic, yeah.
Harvest
Yeah.
Classic.
Very cool.
So a lot of things are ran. Squirrel Fest.
Right.
That's right.
Which is that's a
Squirrel Fest.
huge.
A lot of manpower in that.
Crafted's a part of Rotary too.
What's that?
Crafted Brewfest is too.
Silva runs
This
that.
year. This
Okay.
year it was, yeah.
And they
Yeah.
were like intertwined this year,
This year.
which I
Right.
thought
Mark-
was
Mark
good.
Silva-
Silva,
idea.
who runs that,
Yeah.
is in Noon Rotary. So it I don't know exactly how, if we're.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's under our umbrella,
Right,
but yeah,
right.
Mark's
Right.
running it.
Well, we are having lunch with Mark on Monday to talk about when he's going to come on the podcast.
Oh,
So
cool.
Fresh
be
back
excited.
from Disneyland, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I texted him while he was at Disneyland. He responded with a picture of his kids in line for a ride. I was like, oh my gosh.
That's about what you do.
Yeah.
We did Disney World this year. A lot of lines.
Yeah, we
A
did
lot of
Disney
heat.
World
A
lot
last
of
year.
lines.
but-
lot
A
of
lot of
heat.
heat and a lot of lines.
Okay, this is unrelated, but when we did talk, we talked about different rabbit holes you can fall down on TikTok, and I just saw Gabby's face about Disney because she's fallen down a couple of Disney rabbit holes on TikTok,
dark TikTok holes.
where
yeah.
I'm like, Disney's the best. I loved it so much.
no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I agree. It's not.
I don't see. We could have some interesting conversations, Shawn. I agree.
I'll never go to Disneyland. Never have been.
I'm not, okay.
Fun
I went
sucker.
as a kid, and it was magical, and it was amazing, and I loved it. And I'm not saying I wouldn't go.
The fair's
and I
magical to a
wouldn't.
3-year-old kid.
I'm not saying I wouldn't go, and I wouldn't say I wouldn't take my kids, but I would probably have them wear backpack leashes, even if they're like 14.
Okay, she's been on TikTok too much.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
TikTok.
She's been on
Yeah.
TikTok too much.
Yeah.
You've fallen into Sasquatch. I've fallen into, I don't even know what I've fallen into on the internet. Mukbangs.
Katie,
Just kidding. And Shawn?
Well, I don't even know what the heck. What is a mukbang?
it's where you eat food.
Yeah,
on
it's
the
just
internet.
like someone
People watch
eating
you eat
food,
food while
yeah.
they talk and
Yeah.
try different foods.
Well, that'd be a 30-second. Hi, how you doing? I'm eating.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Whatever.
Kind of idiotic, like TikTok. Anyway.
Anyway.
TikToker.
Okay, so what other? Oh, we talked about just involvement in sponsoring like youth sports teams and
Yeah.
things like that, and
Kelso baseball.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. We
Yeah.
get that one kind of like a
Longview
freebie. We have to go
sports.
clean their.
Right now we're rocking RA Long basketball and soon to be football.
Nice.
We're always doing RA Long.
and Ari
Love
Long
that.
won a game. You guys.
Yeah.
did. Shout
in
out to Ari
in
Long.
OT.
I can't believe there wasn't like a community party. Isn't that the first win in 2 years?
It's yeah.
Something like that. Listen, my kids went to RA Long,
I went to Ari Long.
right? So I mean, we're
My kids
jazzed.
will be going there.
I am very excited about it. I have a friend that coaches, and I'm very excited that they're
yeah.
doing well. So
Yeah.
thank you for sponsoring.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure, man. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
thank you for sponsoring basketball. Shout out to
Yeah.
Drakey.
Yeah. So it also
roll.
just kind of sounds like if a nonprofit needs something stored, they're going to
No,
the
no more storage today. No more
Sorry.
storage.
Sorry.
You know what? It's funny you say that because I was thinking, wow, I just have like, $80,000 worth of football stuff that needs a home.
Yeah, right. I have another.
just kidding. I just got a Connex
I have
donated.
one container for the flags, and then there's another 55-foot container that I had some of Servpro stuff in there. And then before you know it, Rotary came and like,
Yep.
you think we could put one thing in? Yeah, I'm like, sure. And now I opened it up the other day, and it was like, all the Tour de Blast, all the Squirrel Fest just fell on me.
A giant squirrel
Yeah,
costume.
it's like you could have a lot of fun in there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of different stuff, but man, I don't have any more room for storage.
Yeah.
Need to store people's contents.
Yeah.
We do a lot of that, by the way, back a little bit to business, content storage. So like when you have a water damage or a fire, you got to get all this stuff out of here to
Right.
do your demo. So we do a lot. We have 100 crates that we store people's content.
Oh, so
and
let's
you pack
say
it nicely
Yes.
and organize it too.
100%.
It's
A lot of our revenue comes through just storage. And I never thought when I opened the place that's what it was gonna.
yeah, it makes sense. So even if like there was a flood, you still, like you said, have to get
Gotta
stuff
get out
off
of
the
the way.
walls, or you have to get everything
Yeah.
so you can rip everything out. That makes a
Right.
lot of sense.
And that's one of the added perks that's beneficial to the homeowner. And that's one of the
Absolutely.
things they don't even have to think and worry about. They don't have to worry about their contents. They don't have to worry about cleaning that. They don't have to worry about this and that. And storage is a huge thing. especially in Cowlitz County, it's the lack of storage.
I was just going
Right?
to say that. And this is such a good tangible example of what we were pointing out earlier, where you can call your agent, you can call your general contractor. It's not that it's bad to call those people,
Right.
but some of the things are going to be left for you to do. When you call Servpro, you guys really do take care of everything.
Right.
Yeah. Like you don't have to figure out your storage unit. You don't have
Right.
to rent a pod or if you're
Well,
Yes.
we do rent a lot of mobile minis, you know, pods.
Yeah.
But
For
the homeowner
customers.
doesn't have to make the phone call.
Correct.
Right.
We get all that.
Yeah.
We're there to get
Pack it
delivery. We're
up.
the ones who pack it in there and all that. So
Yeah.
That's amazing.
How many employees do you have right now?
21.
21. Okay.
Okay. I would have figured. I mean, I feel like you would need a lot
And
of
that's
employees
bumped
to take care
up.
of it.
Like
Yeah.
we've usually been around 13 to 14, and now like, we're just starting to,
Yeah.
bump it up.
grow. Yeah.
I remember when it was 4.
And it was two of you
Yeah.
or
And
two
I was
of
the one in the
them.
crawl space.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that. Well, which one of you was in the crawl space?
No.
Stop.
How tall are you?
You're tall, too. I was going
I'm
to say
6'6".
neither of you are small.
Yo, man.
But it was funny. Hector, I mean, he's been here as long as Shawn. I have a lot. Shawn's at 10. How many years?
13.
Sean's at 13, Hector's at 13. I have a lot of people that have been around a long time, but I retired from. He was there for the story when I retired from crawl spaces
Oh, what happened?
because I got stuck.
Oh,
It
How
was
stuck?
really tight. It
How
was
stuck?
like
How long?
where he was pulling my legs.
you
I
were?
was going in. I had to go in
Hector.
back. It was like a deck, and then the crawl space is right. It's hard to explain, but I had to like go in this little under a deck, and I had to go belly up, and I got stuck in there. It was real tight. Like all the crawl spaces over on like in the Highlands
Oh,
area,
yeah.
Yes.
because they're on that high water table. Their crawl spaces are nothing. So anyway, I got stuck in there. He's laughing, pulling me out. And I said, "That's it, bud. Production's yours." And that was it.
That was the
That was
day
it.
Ryan went to the office.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
6'6" men should not be in crawl spaces.
No,
I'm just
I
gonna
was
say.
busting my head all the time. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It does seem though that like home inspectors are always large men. I say this all the time. It's just like it seems like home inspectors are always really tall, just like broad men. And it's like, why did you get into this industry? Why are you
Money.
going into crawl spaces and into attic spaces? Yeah, I guess money.
Yeah, well.
There are other ways, Shawn.
Well, they didn't look at themselves in the mirror and go, "I got the body for a crawl space." They
Obviously
went, "Man, I want to
they
make a lot of money."
Okay.
So that's probably what they did.
Well, yeah. I would never go into crawl space. I'm just saying. And Gabby never would. She has like an actual legitimate fear of crawl
I
spaces.
did one time and it was terrible. Maybe that's
Yeah.
where the fear came from.
That was our training today. Confined spaces for the game here. You know, what to look out for, and, you know, raccoons.
Yes.
Spider season. I don't know if you
eyeballs.
guys noticed that in your
I don't
house,
even
how
care.
spiders are in.
Huge. So huge.
Spider season.
But if I was in a crawl space, I don't care about the spiders. It's about possums,
Yep.
raccoons, any type of rodent, maybe even a snake, like a big snake.
We've
I
done
don't
a-
want to see any of it.
We haven't seen many snakes, but like, you know, we do a lot of rat cleanup.
My
Like,
heart is literally
they
pounding
tear the
hard.
heck out of your insulation. Raccoons too. That was one of my stories before I retired. I down in Woodland, went down there and to clean up a crawl space from a realtor. I forget who gave me the job, but they tore up all the insulation, so we had to clean up the insulation, clean up the turds. So like, yeah, sure. I get down in there, I get started, and I had a headlamp on. I go, I look that way. Before you know it, there's 4 beady eyes glowing at you. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna
And
have to
they're
take care of the
so
raccoons
mean.
before I get
Did
back
it
in
charge
there.
you?
No, it was just on. It was over by Wayne. Probably
my
double
gosh.
It's probably double how far Wayne is from me.
Did it
20,
hiss
30
at
feet.
you?
I just saw the eyes. I was out.
They are so
All
mean
six
too.
of you got
Oh,
out there
and
real
quickest
quick.
I ever went.
The quickest you
And
ever shimmied out.
The other confined space. Another one. I got a call about guano. Everybody knows what guano is.
Yeah,
No.
bat poo.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, baby.
What's that Jim Carrey movie about guano?
Isn't that Pet
Detective.
That's
Yeah.
how you know about guano. But anyway, at a guano cleanup, they're like, yeah, we need you to come clean up this attic in Clem. Okay, go out there and check it out. Same thing. Look up in this. There's 2 rafters about this far apart, and you just see about 100 eyes staring at you. I'm like, yeah, you're going to need to take care of the bats before we. So you got to take care of the bats before we can clean this up.
Yeah.
So we get that a lot. Like you got to get a.
You're not wild.
You gotta
A pest
you gotta
management
get the
guy
pest,
first.
Pest guy out first,
Yeah.
then give
Yeah.
us a call.
Okay, so have you ever had to have your rabies shots? Is the question
No, I've
after
never
being
been bit.
okay.
Great question, Katie.
Never been bit.
Yeah. My poor dad.
Best question I've
which-
ever heard on this podcast so far.
Yeah.
Oh, are you up to date on your rabies?
Yeah. I have to do any rabies. No,
I've heard
seriously.
it's terrible. You don't want it. It's
My
like a big
dad had to
cycle.
have it. A
Yeah.
bat flew up his shorts when he was getting
Who did
something.
this?
My father.
Giblets?
Well, yeah, but I guess bat bites don't hurt, so you don't know if you
you
got
feel
bit or
it?
not. No, so you don't feel it. But the bat flew up his shorts when he was getting out like my mom's umbrella for the deck for whatever, and he
Bat
had to do
bites
the
don't
rabies.
hurt.
No, so he had to
Weird.
do the rabies treatment. It was awful.
I got bit by a dog pretty bad at camping several years ago, and I was so worried I would need a rabies shot. And so I went to the doctor, and they're like, "No, sweetie, you don't have to get a rabies shot. Only if you're bitten by a bat, possibly a cat, or a human." And I'm just like, "Do you get?
What if the dog was foaming at the mouth, though?
You get? Well, okay, sure, but I mean,
Why a human?
that's what I said, and she said it happens." And she left it at that, and so we just carried on with what we were doing. But yeah,
That's crazy.
so now you know, you get bit by a human.
And just so you guys know, since
Baby shot.
we're in Cowlitz County, just so you know.
Yeah, definitely get your rabies shot.
No, I was gonna say squirrels, which are my favorite animal, and the mascot of Longview do not carry rabies.
They
So
make a mess too, though. Call us after them.
Oh, I bet.
all is after them,
Yeah.
and they're like shifty. They like will kind of be in wars with the homeowners, messing stuff up.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Hiding stuff. Like squirrels are they're little mischief makers.
They grab the peanuts and they walk over to that bush or that little plot and they'll dig it and dirt will be flying everywhere.
I have found them in
But you
my
keep on
plants.
feeding
That's
them.
another YouTuber
so
like
cute.
hole to go down. Squirrels.
Oh, I've been
There's
there.
a guy who
Mark Roper.
I don't know his name,
The engineer guy?
Yes.
Yes.
but there's a guy
He
who's
does
got
squirrels?
like 2 out back, and he's got a house, and one's called oh my gosh, now I gotta look it up. Anyway, I don't have the story, but there's a lot of his videos.
Squirrels
out
I
there.
love. Yeah,
We're
there's
on different
one.
ends.
Hood
the
Rat
internet.
Raymond is one of them.
Hood Rat Raymond.
We're on different ends of the internet. I'm going to have to go take a
Look up Hood
side.
Rat Raymond.
Yeah, I'm going
Okay.
to take a detour today. Hood Rat Raymond.
I'm gonna look that up too. I love squirrels. I love squirrels. Okay, so speaking of squirrels, speaking of Longview, speaking of Cowlitz County in general, let's get into your favorites.
Oh, cool.
So, yesterday was Ryan's birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
This is recorded in the past, so this was a while ago for you out there. But you went
When's
to
this getting out? About 2026? How far down the line are we?
well, we already told Ryan that this is all just a ruse and we actually don't record anything or post it. So it's all a figment of your imagination. In like a week and a half, let's be real. So you went to Mill City Grill twice on your
did.
birthday. So one of your faves is Mill City.
Yes.
What do you get there?
I got the spinach wrap for lunch, and then I like their salad with the salmon in it. I don't know if it's called salmon. You know,
Yeah.
probably
It's like a Northwest salad or
Yes.
something. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
what
I
are
like.
your other favorites? If you're out
Pizza
and
wise? Pizza wise, I would go with Lexi's. If you're going to go with the quick, I like Vernie's. That's closest, but the best is Roland.
Ooh,
Roland's
yes.
is good, and they're
That's
underrated.
closest to back home.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're
Like-
underrated.
I have a very my palate for pizza goes East Coast style.
Okay.
And he's like more of a Neapolitan, but like it's thin. I like a thin crust,
Yeah.
and he's got it.
Gosh, now we need to go today.
Well, he's got an awesome wood fire oven.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's banging.
And the vibes.
Wood fire pizza is just there's nothing better.
no.
Yeah.
Truly.
And I'm a thinner crust
Yeah.
girl
You
too.
get a
So.
DiGiorno. I'm totally being sarcastic.
I
What
mean,
else? I like
I eat
Grants.
DiGiorno's
Grants
too.
for Grants for steaks. I like hop and grape. Mm-hmm. That's
For
where
macaroni and
that's
cheese.
like we have a trainer that comes in, and he always wants to go there. When he comes to town, the Servpro trainer always wants to go to Hop and Grape.
When you said trainer, I thought you meant like athletic trainer. Like you
yeah,
have a
yeah,
trainer work
yeah.
you out and then take you to
go to
Hop and
Hop and
Grape.
No,
Grape.
we
I'm
wouldn't
like,
go to
oh,
Hop and Grape.
that's
Probably
my
go to
kind of
GNC
trainer.
and then
Yeah.
Well, it's like running a marathon. Every time you run a
Carbo
marathon,
load.
you get done, you go out and you have some beers.
That's true.
Yeah.
So what are some of your favorites, Sean?
As far Scythe,
Okay.
Scythe's
Good
menus is banging. The beer is super tasty. Eric does
Yeah.
great. Hop and Grape. I mean, if there's one restaurant in Cowlitz County that's been massively consistent with their food over the past 10 years,
definitely.
it's none other than
you know what
Hop
you're
and
getting
Grape.
Every
single
time.
Yeah.
So true.
So, smoked beef.
They've
brisket.
done our holiday party, 2 or 3 years in a row.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
do some great catering. So
Yeah.
if you guys
So
got
true.
Yeah.
They do wonderful catering.
New ownership, but I think Kathy and them, they're
Yeah.
doing a great job as well.
And
So,
they're keeping most of the same menu items, like almost all of them.
yeah, they have added some nice little desserts, I guess you
Right.
could say, and a
Right.
few minor changes, but there was some stuff in there that just wasn't moving, and
Yeah.
Dave knew that. So
And that makes sense.
yeah.
They cater the Vets Giving that Rhonda
yeah.
taught us
Vetsgiving,
about
yeah.
for heaven.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yes.
Yeah, every
They
year
have for
do that.
years.
Yep, yep, and that's coming up again. I knew
It
we
is.
talked with
And the
Rhonda
new
about
owners are going to continue that tradition, so that's really great.
that. That's
Yeah.
yeah, super cool.
And just so you know, just a plug for Vets Giving, you do not have to. You don't have to be a homeless vet. You don't have to be in need. This is a Vets Giving for anyone, veteran, active military, and your entire family. Like Rhonda said that
Bring
even
your grandkids,
yeah,
everyone. It's just a fun time where everyone eats together, and it's a time for community.
Yeah.
Is it at their restaurant or where is it?
Actually, it's become so big that they had it at Ari Long last year, and
Oh,
they're
wow.
gonna do it there again in the cafeteria because they have a big kitchen and everything. So yeah, it works great.
Didn't that start out at the Eagles, Longview Eagles? I think.
I believe so, or
Yeah.
and then the Elks.
The Elks, that's what she said,
Yep.
is
And
that-
it's just
Okay.
grown and grown and grown, and so now they're
So maybe
at
the
Ari Long
Eagles does
cafeteria.
another one.
yeah.
Because I think the Longview Eagles does something for the vets.
Okay,
at
yeah,
Thanksgiving
yeah.
as well too.
So follow Heaven HEVIN if you're interested in hearing more about that.
helping every veteran in need.
Yeah, and watch our episode on Heaven too.
And
Yeah,
get a
that's
hold
great.
of Rotary Noon Edition for your
Yes.
flags, $50 a year, and they install them.
LongviewRotaryFlags.com, I think it is. Make sure not to. They have it in Longview, Texas too. So we're not
don't do
delivering to
that.
Texas.
Yes.
That's going to be $100. That's $100 for the year. Okay.
That's 100 for the year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, please do not sign up for the Longview, Texas
No,
Rotary
no.
flag.
We get that a lot at Servpro though too. We get calls in.
I bet.
Hey, can you come clean my carpets? Sure. Where are you at? Well, I'm over on whatever. And we look it up. We're like, that's Longview, Texas. Servpro, Longview, Texas.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Calls.
Sorry.
Not us.
Right.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, your SEO must be good because when they search Longview Servpro, you come up.
Yeah.
True.
So,
Well, anything, water damage, anything comes up pretty good.
yeah, I think, or Google.
yeah. So, let's just talk a little bit more about favorites, just like hidden gems. Is there anything, in Cowlitz County you feel like is,
Yeah, I'm not
You
going
know.
to tell people because I don't want them to go there.
he's
Oh.
gatekeeping.
Don't be a gatekeeper. Come
He's
on.
gatekeeping
What are some
his
fun
favorites.
things you like to do?
Smoke cigars.
Totally. In my
Yeah.
backyard, I'll drink my whiskey and I'll listen to my water
Okay.
fountains going and I'll smoke a really good stick and
Go to his dude room.
His dude.
that was my old place up on
Rock
the
and
back.
roll.
I had the dude room, so yeah, I don't have a dude room no more. That's so dumb. That's like 2015.
Okay, if you were gonna smoke a cigar outside in a nice setting, where would you go in Cowlitz County?
Ooh.
Warehouser. Away from everybody.
In
I
this
go so
economy?
far up
Yeah. Well, I'd
no,
probably
not
go down.
not the mill. Up in
No.
the woods.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Warehouser Land. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay.
I'd probably go down there on Industrial Way so I could smell the weed.
Oh,
Yeah, it
all
really
right.
masked the smell of the cigar.
Okay.
I'm totally being sarcastic.
You heard it here
I
first.
figured you were.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
A lot of people
everybody.
used to complain. My parents, well, not my parents. My mom was a telephone operator, but my dad grew up in the mill industry, and back in the 70s and 80s, it smelled like a fart in Longview, and
it
everybody
still
used to
does.
say, not necessarily. It's so.
It's more nuanced than
Yeah,
that. It's
yeah.
less fart now.
Yeah,
Into that
more-
season too. It's got to get a little more wet.
Yeah.
That'll start.
But everybody used to say that's the smell of money. That's the smell of money. And I hear people complaining about the smell of marijuana and stuff like that, but that is the smell of money. I mean, there's no other. I mean, what do we got? 9, 10 retail
Yeah.
shops here, right? And
haven't
how many
counted, but-
grow places in town? And for a long time, it was the #1 job creator in Cowlitz County, the marijuana cannabis industry, which
Interesting.
is absolutely
Really?
mind-boggling.
More than
Yeah.
Peace Health? More than
No.
No job creation.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
was
new
like
jobs.
New jobs.
Okay, got it. That
Peace
makes
Health
sense.
already has
Yeah.
their employees.
That makes sense. Yes.
Think
got
about it. Think about your growers, your bud
Yes.
tenders, your retails.
Well, and it wasn't
talking
an
hundreds.
industry, and then it became an
Right,
industry.
right.
So it would
Yeah.
make sense that it would be
Yeah.
the most
Yeah.
growth. But Interesting.
Servpro Green.
Yeah, if you need your grow out cleaned, call these guys.
Yeah, sure.
And we actually have helped out
Yeah.
a few places.
Get rid of some mold.
Yeah,
some
they cannot
mold,
have
and
that.
that's a big deal.
If you got mold on your
Yeah.
weed, call these guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Throw it away if you got mold on your
Yes.
weed.
No. Speaking of, okay, do you guys do commercial jobs too then?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see
Okay.
your guys' sign on every commercial fire in town.
Oh gosh.
You know.
Well, the one on Blue Sky.
Yes, and
by
others,
us.
which I love. I love seeing your guys' signs on those, because I know that they're going to be back up and running in no time, and I
Yeah.
can keep eating
Okay,
off of
do you guys remember this? This is just like lives rent free in my mind. Okay, so remember back in 2020, I know it's dark times, but transport yourself back to January 2020. And
January 2020.
Wasn't
It
dark
wasn't
yet.
dark
Things
then.
are still
We didn't
good.
know yet.
We were, yeah.
it wasn't dark yet. Okay, remember when Swanson's Bark and Wood had that huge fire?
Yes.
And they put out the t-shirts that said 2020, the year Swanson's caught on fire. And it was like, that is not what 2020 reminds everyone
Yeah, it's
of
true.
now.
That was a 2-month short-lived.
I don't remember
Yeah.
that shirt.
I don't either.
Gimmick.
I didn't know. I didn't know Swanson's caught fire.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to
Remember
remember.
that?
Yeah,
It was-
Yeah.
massive.
Anyway, it's just funny because I saw the t-shirt and then what was later to transpire. I'm
The
like, that is
the
not the
bark.
year.
Yeah,
Oh,
not the-
that is not the year. No, not the building, the bark.
Yeah.
Okay, well, do you have anything else you guys want to plug? Anything you want to shout out? Sean, be good, behave.
Yeah, I want to shout out Lower Columbia Professionals.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so this is our upcoming year, and we just did some planning. Katie wasn't at the meeting, but Katie's our past chair.
Yes.
I've been LCP since 13.
Yeah.
So what is that? 11 years.
Lower Columbia Professionals. We are the fundraising arm of the Chamber of Commerce, and we also fundraise for local scholarships.
Yeah.
Do fun events.
Yeah, we do some smoking events, man. So yeah, we got.
What's coming up? You got.
Well, actually, we don't have an event per se in September, and the jury's still out about actually what's going to happen in October.
I think we should do karaoke again. I know
Karaoke.
Sean disagrees
Where was
with
that
me.
at?
Well, no. I think that's the way they're going to go, but we'll find out for sure on the 10th of October. That's our next meeting. But going into the opening,
Gonna wait that long to plan it?
dude, we can whip out a
Dude,
meet. We
That
can
is
whip out
true.
an
You
event
guys
in
do
2
whip
weeks.
out. That is true. I've seen
So,
it happen.
We're snip snappy.
Yeah. So I mean, we've given away, dude, tens of thousands of dollars in scholarships.
It's true.
And so, but we were kind of hit with something at our very first meeting, and I won't go into that. So we're kind of like taken back a little bit, and I think a lot of us are going to,
Regroup. Figure it
yeah,
out.
we're going to re-examine, man, what's
But
going
at the
on
end
here.
of the
But
day, hashtag it's for the kids.
yeah, hashtag totally, it's for the kids.
Yeah, hashtag it's
you
for
know.
the kids.
I
So-
mean, my liver has suffered greatly.
For the
In
kids.
11 years for the kids, because every single one of our event, I'm sorry to say, but if you're planning a fundraiser out there, you got to get lubed up and the money
Right.
starts come rolling in.
Well,
and
and
that's just the way it is.
As they said, Lower Columbia Professionals is an arm of the chamber, but what the whole premise of what they do is they throw epic parties once a month for 9 months straight, and all the money at the party goes to the scholarship fund, and at the end of the year they hand out scholarships. So that
Hashtag
is
it's for the kids.
It's hashtag it's for the kids.
21
Yeah.
plus, but
Yeah.
we'll deal with the kids at the end. We'll raise the money 21 plus.
Yeah, and the golf tournament that you mentioned, just real quick. So the Lonnie Knowles Memorial, so that's separate funds. And I know our monies. So we netted 14.5
Wow.
on that. So
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
That was our.
That's
the
really
big-
good for a golf tournament.
It is
Yeah,
really
the biggest
good.
year.
Yeah.
Super low expense and some wonderful in-kind donations. So
Love that.
yeah, totally. Specialty rents. Yeah, if I was going to go have a cigar, it'd be probably at Specialty Rents, right in their lobby.
I agree.
Because their lobby, if you haven't been there, they got tables and
It's
chairs.
so
It's so
nice.
cool. You could just sit there and like, dude, I just need a cocktail and a stick.
Start
and,
up their popcorn machine. Kelly saved my bacon
Dude, yeah,
last weekend
exactly.
with that popcorn machine. So
Yeah,
we love
and
it.
she probably got some frame beer, you know,
Yeah.
because Sean and Kelly, they're into the frame. They love the frame.
Well,
so.
she also saved our butts at LCP when we went to set up for an event and there were no tablecloths, and I was like, oh, call Kelly and get her over here with some
100%.
tablecloths right now.
Yes.
So shout out to Specialty Runs.
Yeah, big
Totally.
time.
Yeah.
Locally owned and operated.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, well, with that, I think it's about time to wrap it up. But it was so fun, not as nerve wracking as I thought.
Yeah, don't get worried talking to us.
But seriously, guys, remember that Connections in Cowlitz is sponsored by Mattress Superstore and Servpro of Longview, Kelso. Big shout out to them. We appreciate you guys, and we appreciate you guys for watching. And we will see you next time.
rock and roll.
Bye.